I graduated at Long Beach State. I honestly wasn't too sure if I wanted to keep playing basketball. And one random day, I just got a call from Moses. And he was just, the first thing he said was like, "Are you Thai?"
So just shooting the shit first?
Yep, let's do it.
Did you do any shooting at Sport Tech, or was it all fitness?
Nah, we do basketball and weights.
Okay. I mean, this is just a talk.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be too formal.
For sure.
Like what do you do pre-game? What's like your pre-game routine and shit?
My pre-game routine, honestly, I talk to my kids before every game, you know, call back, and I like to just make sure my daughters are good, and just, you know, they kind of just clear my mind, you know.
Yeah. And how are they, man?
They're good, man. 8 and 6. 8 and 6. My little one will be 7 in August, so they're ready to go to Japan.
So they'll be flying over at some point, right?
Yeah, definitely.
How much have you talked with the team so far yet?
So these past 3 weeks we've been talking a lot, because there's a lot that goes into getting to Japan, and which I had no idea, you know what I mean? But it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. So let me see the jump shot, man. Let me see the jump shot, TK.
I do not have a jump shot.
I like the shoes.
I have the shoes.
I like the shoes.
I don't have a jump shot.
Oh, come on, yo. That looks good. No, but we've been talking a lot over the past 2.5, 3 weeks. Just getting everything right. There's a lot of paperwork that needs to be signed. It's a lot that goes into it.
But I mean, it's been a journey, man. I mean, going here, this is going to Japan. You're like, what? You've played in Hong Kong, Taiwan.
Yep.
Where else have you?
Thailand, Hong Kong, and Taiwan.
So
that's been my 3 stops. Yeah, I've been lucky to be in Southeast Asia my whole career so far.
I mean, like going back to that journey, this gym right here is where
this is
the first game, right?
This is the first gym I played in.
ABL.
Yep.
How was that first game? How was it feeling coming into that game? What were the nerves? What were the jitters? What was going through your mind through that game?
Well, you know what? That first game, coming into the first game, I had a bit of nerves, mainly because my college career didn't end how I had always planned, you know what I mean? So going into the first game, I was a little nervous, didn't really know what to expect. You know, first professional game is, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now I'm on the court with guys that are 30-something years old, you know, just grown men pretty much. So I was nervous, but after the game, I definitely felt that it was a relief, you know what I mean? Just to be able to play basketball out here. I had a few family members come watch me play. So yeah, it was definitely a relief after the game, and I knew right away that, you know, I could be out here.
All right.
Hey, there it is.
So I mean, like, you're a shooter. Have you always been a shooter?
I have not always been a shooter.
Okay.
You know, when I was younger, I was able to rely more on my athleticism. Okay. Attacking a basket. With age, you know, and just wear and tear, I started working on my shot. I'd say I really started working on my shot when I got to college, because those guys was jumping out of the gym, and in college is where you kind of learn, like, you know, what role you fit best. So yeah, I really started working on my shot, and just I've always been able to play defense, but you know, I've always been able to play defense because I got long arms. But yeah, I'd say I really started working on my jump shot in college.
All right. So, but now you're a shooter. Everyone can see that. So yeah, I want to play some horse with you.
Let's do it. Come on, I'll let you go first.
You start, but first of all, I know, being me, I can't beat you. But if I am UCLA Nah, I can't. But I'm just gonna put this in just for tradition.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, go ahead. Let's play some horse.
I'll let you go first. You got the UCLA jersey, bro. I'll let you go first.
Let me just. I don't know what to do with
this. He's starting far.
I'm going far. Bang bang.
Oh, and man. How many shots has he shot? How many shots he shot while he was waiting?
I was sweating before you got here.
Oh. Oh!
That's one for me.
You're gonna make me lose my contract.
Nah. Yeah. Nah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go far then.
Go half court, man.
I'm gonna save half court for the last letter. Ooh.
What would you say is your like go-to move though on the court?
My go-to move on the court, any kind of I like any kind of step back or just something to create space. Just give me a better look, at a shot.
Kind of a @𝘴𝘶𝘳𝘦 type, man.
Yep, exactly. You're gonna have to cut a lot of this out.
Yeah, we'll cut it.
Cut the misses out. But yeah, no. My main thing is like step back, cross, just to create a little bit of space to get a good look at the basket.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much my thing right there. I feel like in the game, all I need to see is one go in. You know what I mean? And then it's
Yeah.
oh. Okay, there we go.
There you go. That's one.
There we go.
So yeah, right now you're playing in the BTL. Let me just take this first.
Yep.
Oh, that's one for me. So that's an H for me. But yeah, playing now in the BTL.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many players have scored over 500 points over 2 seasons in the BTL? If you had to take a guess, who are the players that have scored over?
That have scored over 500 points in the 2 seasons of BTL?
2 seasons.
I would say me, Moses,
Okay.
maybe, Freddie. That might be. Those are my 3 right there.
All right, so go ahead with your shot.
All right.
Nah, but yeah. So I mean, you got you and Freddie. Then you have 𝘨𝘠𝘬𝘳𝘦.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been playing 2 seasons. Moses is just short.
Moses
446, and that's like, do I get an O for that? I'll take an O for that. But yeah, I mean, you're at the top right now, 784. So
wow.
Congrats on that.
Oh,
you're
thank
gonna
you.
Add some more.
Thank you.
You're gonna add some more. But yeah, Freddie's at 600. Met is at like 500.
You shot.
Yeah.
Fred's at what?
600-ish.
Oh, what am I at?
You're at 700.
Oh, I'm at 700? Okay.
You're the top scorer.
I want you to hear that, Freddie, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're missing him now, but you've been making the most threes.
Yeah.
You're going to be taking it to Japan too, so no worries.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow, 𝘨𝘓𝘳𝘐𝑦 though?
We're building a brick house right now, though.
It's okay. 𝘨𝘓𝘳𝘐𝑦, what? He's has over 500?
Yeah, he's at 513, man.
Oh wow, I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
He's getting it.
Let's just go over to the left a little bit. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
That one felt good.
It's not gonna feel good for me.
Well, hopefully I only got 4 more games, man, and then the record is to be beaten. Records are made to be broken.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like being a shooter, they're shooting a lot of shots. How do you go through? I mean, how do you go through shooting slumps? You have to have some at some point.
Oh, definitely. I have a lot of shooting slumps.
Yeah. How do you go through those?
My thing with shooting slumps is just to, my thing is like being mentally strong. But with being mentally strong comes putting in the work and working on my shot. So I'll do like different routines. Like if my shot feels off, then I'll go 5 in a row from each 7 spots and back and forth, just to try to get my form consistent again. Or if I feel like I'm not getting enough shots up in my spare time, then I'll change it up a little bit. I might go 25 each spot, back and forth and back and forth. But it's all about repetition for me and muscle memory, and just you get confidence through putting the work in. You know what I mean?
Let's get this.
Oh, that one was straight and short. I like those Anthony Edwards, man. Those are fire.
They're nice.
Those are fire. Are they comfortable?
Yeah. The lows are really comfortable too. I'm not making any of these.
It's still Puma fam though, but
let's do a quick this or that before we cut this off.
Okay.
Are you like an ankle breaker guy or what do you call it, pin down block kind of guy?
Ankle breaker for sure.
And how about, I mean, no one wants to get caught their ankles broken or getting pinned, but which one would you rather take getting your ankles broken or getting pinned on a block or a dunk or layup?
I'd much rather have somebody send my shot out of bounds than getting my ankles broken any day of the week. TK, any day of the week.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. I shot from right here, right? Let's go ahead and go right here.
Corner there.
Bank shot. See if the bank is open.
Let's go.
Oh.
Not a good day for us.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take mid-range.
Hey, middies.
How important are mid-range shots for your game, though?
For my game or for the game period?
For your game.
For my game, mid-range is very important because, I feel like when I am going through a shooting slump, not really feeling good from three, the mid-range kind of just gets me back on track also. It's a good way to get me back on track. Because it doesn't take much when you're shooting a little closer. You know what I mean? I feel like it also is it was a lost art, but now you see a lot of NBA guys that's taking advantage of the mid-range game. Okay. Definitely.
I think you just take one more shot, but I think I'll take the L here.
Hey.
Yeah, that'll probably be the L for me anyways. Midi.
Oh!
All right. So yeah, let's wrap up this shoot around and sit down and talk.
Definitely.
Maybe get away from the sweat a bit.
I'll
just cut this off.
All right.
Well, first of all, just give an introduction. Who are you? Just in case no one knows yet who you are, where you're playing at where you're playing right now, just where you are right now. Let's start with right now first.
Well, I'm Tyler Lamb. I'm born and raised in California. I'm half Thai. As of right now, I'm in Thailand playing for High Tech in the BTL. This will be my ninth season. This will be the conclusion of my 9th season. So happy to wrap this up and
a decade, man. So yeah. I mean, we're building up to this obviously, but big news. It's been going around, signing with Kumamoto Volters.
Yes, sir.
B2, man, they recently changed the rule to allow Thai pushers. How does it feel to be that first one that gets this opportunity to represent the Thailand basketball scene?
It feels good, at the very base of it, it feels great. I feel like I haven't started a new journey as far as basketball in a long time, and so I feel I'm grateful, I'm happy, and I feel like that this will only open the door for more Thai players to go, which I kind of always felt a sort of responsibility for for the kids out here. You know what I mean? That's always been my thing, is to just inspire and motivate. And I feel like this is just another step towards that. So in pretty much, this is not only for me, you know what I mean? Like, this is for all of Thailand and especially for the kids, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty deep topic and a pretty big core of why you play basketball. We'll go deeper in that later.
Yeah,
I just wanted to talk about this opportunity. How much have you followed? Do you know the situation of the B League, the B2? How much do you know about that situation there?
I've been following for years now, I can tell you. We've talked, but yeah, I've been following B League for a long time now. Following close, just hoping that one day an opportunity would come. So yeah, with that being said, I just I've been staying in tune with everything that's going on out there.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I mean, you see like B2 and you're like, it's a Division 2. That's not the reality, man. They have legit ballers across all the teams, Japanese legends, maybe a bit older, but they're all across all the teams.
Oh, definitely.
Big opportunity here. And it shows. I don't know if you watched the Japan-France game yesterday. Have you seen?
You know what? I couldn't catch that here, but I watched the highlights.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that just shows like how much Japan basketball is, and just getting the opportunity to play there is quite nice.
Yeah, they might or might not have gotten cheated. You know, hey.
Yeah, it was a close one. But yeah, about your future teammates a bit. How much have you connected with any of the guys that they've announced the signings yet, or no?
You know what? One of my teammates, we just followed each other on social media. His name is Mitch Lightfoot. He played at Kansas. Yeah. And then the point guard that they signed, 𝘴𝘶𝘅 Clark. I'm familiar with his game. I want to say he's from California. I've watched him while he was in Virginia. And then the big guy, 𝘨𝘂𝘬𝘚, I've been watching their games from last season, so even the locals, I've just been trying to just kind of teach myself and, just watch film.
No, it's an exciting team, and they also signed like Chikara Tanaka. He's like a half Japanese guy. He's played in the States, playing.
Oh yeah, he played B1 last year.
Yeah, he played B1 last year. So I think it's a team that they're really looking to succeed, to move forward, and that's why you're there.
Right.
So yeah, that's an exciting part of it. But as you mentioned, you're the first one to go through this gate here. Let's say, as the ambassador of being the first player, what would be a sales pitch for some of the other players, for B League teams who like, yeah, this is a player that you guys should take a look at. Let's start with Moses first. What would be like a 2 or 3 liner sales pitch? Like, this is the guy that you should look at for Moses.
Well, for Moses, he's a big guard, and I mean he's a big body, and Moses is he's versatile. He can play many different positions on the floor. He can stretch the floor out at your power forward, and he can guard 3s and 2s. So I think he would have much success in that league, being able to be so versatile in his game.
And how about Freddie?
Freddie's a straight dog. Freddie will give you 100% of everything he has, and he'll pick up full court, and he'll run your team, and he can score. So Freddie is, he's the guy that you definitely would like to have on you. You'd definitely want him on your team rather than play against him.
Another one I'll throw out there, Om Shanatip. What do you think about him?
I love Om. I think Om is he's a big, he's an Asian big, which there's not many of those, and Om has expanded his game to where he can stretch the floor and shoot the 3 now. So he can give you everything from inside rebounding. He's a big time shot blocker, and he can also stretch the floor for you, pick and pop, pick and roll. So that helps any team when you have a big guy who can do multiple things like that.
Yeah. I think like those 3 are the more obvious choices when someone thinks about players who could probably make the jump. But let's give you one wild card, one player. I mean, I'm not limiting you to one player. Let's say one player that you really want to highlight who teams should take a look at.
Who would you say if you had to say a wild card?
I didn't even think of it at this point. But I mean, Arm is kind of a bit on the older side, and he's a point guard, which they really have a lot of abundance in. I think that it would be fun to see him in a different. I feel like he's just cruising through the Thai competitions, man. It's like,
that's the only thing you can do out here, But yeah, I think Arm in a different setting, a focused and Arm that is happy to come and play, and I think definitely he can make an impact. For sure. Yeah.
So I just want to go back to the early beginnings of your journey. I mean, I've seen your interviews. You mentioned like your father and your uncle getting you into the game, but I mean, you could get into the game. But what really got you into the game, loving the game, making it a part of your life? What was the moment that shifted that focus for you?
I would say a moment that kind of just made everything click with my 8th grade year, going into my freshman year of high school. That summer, it was nothing but basketball. You know what I mean? And it was fun. It was so much fun. I was traveling all throughout the country playing tournaments, and we were winning. We were winning. So I think maybe what I'm trying to say is like that work that we put in, and then to get those results. You know what I mean? that was my thing. Like that kind of drew me in, you know, because as a kid, I had my Thai family on this side, my other side of my family, my American side of my family on the other side. So for me, it was a lot of, I would say, like, not confusion, but a lot of just I felt so different. You know what I mean? I felt so different out there. So when I glued with my team in the 8th grade, and we went through that whole summer, you know, it was a fun summer, and we were beating everybody.
Was that like, I mean, since I have no experience on that, was that the AAU circuit?
Yes, that was the AAU circuit. So.
Since I don't think everyone has like a clear understanding of what exactly the AAU circuit is, just go through it a bit. I mean, from an experience, new experience.
Yeah, no.
What's it like?
So the AAU circuit is pretty much like it's pretty much like amateur Division I basketball. You know what I mean? It's like every state has at least 2 teams that have all the, you know, the top players. So pretty much you play all the top players in the country. You get to see everybody, 1 through all the way down. You build relationships with people. You see them every tournament, all the camps. So it's like, you know, and with that, we were representing California. You know, we were the #1 team in California, and we were one of the best teams in the country. So that gave us a sense of pride, gave us a sense of an identity. You know what I mean? And AAU is pretty much you play all year round. You get a break in the springtime, but you're going to tournaments all year. You're practicing together all year. You know, and we were sponsored by Nike. You know, it opened my eyes to how much this ball that bounces can do for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean you really feel like you can dive deep into the game just playing it year round like that. But do you think, is there like a downside to it? Because I see some people coming in and saying, yeah, the AAU is wrecking up the basketball scene, but I'm not really sure. What do you think would be the potential downside for it, if there was one?
Well, you know what? I think that the downside of AAU basketball, I think, is kind of like the downside of everything. Like, it's been exploited. You know, back then when I was playing, there wasn't cameras all through the gym. There wasn't people trying to get their YouTube views up. You know what I mean? It was like all the kids, like, we were really trying to make a name for ourselves out there, and you had to earn everything back then. So it was way more, I think, pride involved, and just a will to win and represent, you know, your state, where you're from. Now I see it's almost like a show, you know, like it's been exploited, sadly. But I mean, not to say that the talent has gotten weaker or stayed the same, because I think the kids now are way more talented than we were. But with that, you know, you have to. Basketball is it's a beautiful thing when a team plays together. You know what I mean? So there's a balance.
What team did you play with?
I played with California Supreme. That was my 8th grade year. I was with California Supreme, and then throughout high school. But I also played with Pump and Run, which was an Adidas team.
Who were some guys you played with?
California Supreme. I played Jeremy Tyler, Dwayne Poley. He went to St. John's. Gary Franklin, Keala King, James Johnson, Jamal Franklin, Justin Cobbs. Oh man, these are all, you know, these are all great basketball players in their own right. You know, Justin Cobbs actually just played last year in the B1 for Alvarado Tokyo.
Okay. You mentioned there a little bit about the younger talents. I mean, cameras everywhere, everyone trying to get their YouTube videos, highlights going. I mean, it's a bit some here as well. You see the distraction of the younger kids, maybe a bit distracted. What would be your suggestion, advice for any of the upcoming younger talents to balance that? I mean, it's an important part of your game, getting exposure, getting people to know your game, but how would you advise the younger generation to balance that out?
I mean, you know, for the younger generation, you really can't fault the younger generation. You know what I mean? I think, for me, I think you have to advise the older generation to teach the right way, you know, and actually, you know, you have to lead. You have to lead the right way. You have to teach the right way, and you set up the younger generation for success. You can set up the younger generation for success, or you can set them up for failure. You know, I feel like as a young generation, as a young kid, you're just going with what's being told, or, you know. So I don't really put that on the younger generation. I put that on the teachers and the people who are in position to, you know, make basketball go this way or that way.
Yeah. Let's go to getting here in Thailand. You mentioned that Moses was the one that got you.
Definitely.
Yeah. What? How did that happen? I mean, like, what he said was that you guys knew each other for a while, but
we knew each other for a while. Like I said, playing AAU, you know, it's kind of like that's how I was able to identify who was from where. You know, like, Moses from Vegas, or he's from Indiana. I'm sorry, but you know, he played with a Vegas team, and he played with a LA team also. So you see these kids in camp, and you see them in tournaments, and you know, you get to know people. And so Moses was the one that got me to Thailand. After I finished college after I graduated at Long Beach State, I honestly wasn't too sure if I wanted to keep playing basketball. And one random day, I just got a call from Moses, and he was the first thing he said was like, "Are you Thai?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, my mom is full Thai." And he had no idea, which I didn't know he had any Thai in him either. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Yeah, bro, my mom is full Thai and everything." And he kind of just, from there, he kind of just set me up like, "Hey, talk to this person, talk to that person." And then when I went to go actually check my Facebook, the two Thai teams had already messaged me, you know, and so from that point it kind of just snowball effect, and then I ended up here. Maybe from that phone call, I probably ended up in Thailand less than a month later.
Things move quickly, man.
Yeah.
You did mention though that you were considering not taking a professional career in basketball.
Yeah.
Just hypothetically, what might you have been doing? What might you be doing if you didn't take basketball up as a professional career?
I mean, my thing has always been teaching or coaching, you know what I mean? Just giving, because I feel like the game of basketball has given me so much, and it's taught me even more. You know, it's taught me about life. It's taught me about myself. So my thing was always just to give back to the kids, or whether it would be high school coaching, or, you know, I think I would have definitely went into that lane. Yeah.
And you're doing some of that now.
Right. I've been private training, with a few kids out here. Yeah.
All right. So coming here, High Tech, as I mentioned, this is the gym where you started playing. Let's go through first, like, your two veteran imports, Steve and Chris. I mean, what was your impression? Not just the first impression, but just the impression of those two guys in general, being your big brothers in that experience, man.
Man, they made my rookie year so easy for me. You know what I mean? I didn't really have to ask much. I was able to kind of just sit back and just watch. Chris was a 2-time MVP when I got here. Big Steve was a easy 16-point, 16-rebound guy. And, you know, actually, me and Steve got in a fight on my very first practice. But, you know, with that, you know, it became respect. You know what I mean? I think he seen that I was just a young kid that was, you know, I was just ready to just prove the world wrong. You know what I mean? And but like I said, him and Chris, they helped me so much. Just the talks we had, like I said, just sitting back and just watching how they handle things, how they move as a professional, you know, because everything up until that year, you know, I had counselors or managers or coaches that, you know, I think when you get into your professional years, it's not so much on the coach no more. You know, it's how you handle yourself, how you handle the people around you. So
Yeah, so those are your teammates, but let's go to your opposing sides, the imports that like really, I don't know if it's giving you a hard time, but making you feel like, holy shit, this is the real deal. This is professional level basketball.
Yeah.
Who were the guys that really gave you that kind of experience in your rookie year?
I mean, my first game was against Singapore, and my ex had 30-something on us. Ex had 30-something on us. Justin Howard's a huge body. That year, Malaysia had a really good team.
Yeah.
They had Big Reggie, Calvin. They had Jason Brickman and Matthew Wright. I want to say we were around first or second most of the year, but you know, just playing against those guys just made me realize, you know, like I'm playing against big boys now. You know, this is not kid stuff no more.
Yeah, those are the imports. Obviously, you're playing against with and against locals as well.
Right.
In Thailand, who was like a local player that you got to experience? Like, yeah, these guys are really good as well. Maybe you didn't expect the level of Thailand basketball to be at the point, but yeah, who was
definitely.
a local guy that really made you feel
there's a couple local guys that surprised me. Speaking of my rookie year, the two guys that stand out to me that were locals was Boss, played for Mono. He had 40 on us. Yeah, he had 40 on us. I remember that. And you know, Ruben was tough. Ruben used to give me a tough time in practice, just guarding me. And he could jump, he could shoot the ball. So I would say those two stand out as far as the locals. My rookie year that I can definitely remember, like, oh, okay, they actually play ball out here.
You've played with Om for a while now.
Yeah.
Now he's a star, but
right.
You played that season. He was just a 19-year-old kid. What was like your first memory of him being a kid that was just playing at that level for the first time?
My first memory of Om, as a kid, he was, you know, he was tall. He could jump a bit, but I could just tell. Not that he wasn't confident in himself, but you know, the culture, our culture, the Thai culture has it has an effect on us. You know, not to say that it's a bad thing, but you know, as a kid, you're not gonna speak up to anybody that's older than you, and so for me, I just remember him being really quiet, but I remember he definitely always, I always knew he had some, you know, I always knew he had something in him to where he could play this game for a long time and at a high level.
Man, I mean, we've come a long way through our careers. I mean, I started working in basketball along the same time that you came into Thailand, and it's been quite a career. So let's rattle off like each of your landing spots and a few of your impressions through the way. So like,
all right,
yeah, high tech. Your first impressions were just a 2 or 3 line summary of that first
year.
You were like 2 years at high tech first, right?
No, I did the first ABL and then I did the TBL in the summer.
Yeah. So what was that like? The first 2 competitions with high tech.
I had fun. Like I said, when I was in my last year, my college career didn't go the way I had always envisioned it. I had a love-hate relationship with basketball at that point. So that first year, it actually helped me tremendously. Just finding my love for the game, and just I got back to enjoying basketball. You know what I mean? And that was huge for me, because for a while I had stopped enjoying the game, and so it felt like every day I had to just pull something extra out of me just to go to practice, just to, you know. So yeah, when I got here at first ABL and TBL, it brought back the love of the game for me. Not to mention that I started getting paid.
Was there a specific moment where like, that you started to feel like, this is the love of the game that I used to feel when I was a kid? Was there a specific moment, or was it just
Yeah, I'm sure there was a few moments, but one moment that sticks out to me was actually that first time we played mono here. Because it was loud. It was like I kind of, that's where I really learned about Thailand basketball right here. It's like, okay, high tech's on this side and mono's on this side, right? So it was leading up to the game. It was, you know, I was getting all the pregame stuff. It kind of reminded me of like USC and UCLA. And so that game and the games before leading up to that game, I actually kind of struggled, you know. I wasn't playing like how I knew I was capable of playing. That mono game though kind of set me I kind of took off after that game.
And yeah, you took off. Let's talk about your next stop. That was Hong Kong Eastern.
Yep.
That was a big part of your career. I mean, first ABL championship. Just speak about it. What was that part of your career like?
Man, those 2 seasons I played in Hong Kong, that was actually really I think that was the time I learned how to be a professional, because I had Marcus Elliott as my vet. I had Ryan Moss, Josh Boone. I had some. I've been blessed to have some great vets, and but Marcus specifically, you know, took me under his wing. Just showed me how to be a professional. We would go to we would have our game, and right after the game, I'd go right to his room and we would watch the game, and we would stop, and you know, it wasn't stopping and like, oh man, you should have did this. It was more like stopping and like we're taking accountability for everything that we're doing. So yeah, oh, I should have did that on this play. Oh, I should have did, you know. And not to mention that he works harder than probably any teammate I've ever had. Just his work ethic is second to none. Lifting twice a day, and it showed. He was MVP that season, you know. And I think if it wasn't for him, I think I don't know if I would have been MVP. What was it, Heritage Import MVP that year? But Marcus and Coach Edu. Coach Edu also taught me a lot about myself and just different approaches. You know what I mean? Coach Edu is a guy who is always going to be 100% honest. He's going to let you know how he feels and what he feels, and I really respected that about him. You know. Okay.
So yeah, big part of your season, but then jumping back to Thailand, playing with Mono. What was that like, man? That's a big swing as well. Going, as you mentioned, it's on the different side, but I mean, you're a professional player.
Going to Mono was probably, so for my professional career, when I went to Mono, it was like the first time that I had in my professional career that I had a huge, I felt like I just had a huge obstacle in front of me that I could not figure out how to get around for the first part of it, because it, you know, I was coming into a team who had been playing together, new coach, new system, and so I had to figure things out on my own at that point. When I came to Mono, I was still one of the younger guys on the team, but I was already 3-4 years into my career, so that was a point in my career where I really had to figure things out on my own. And you know, Mono gave me every tool that I needed to succeed, set me up for success. They made sure everything was perfect. Everything was good. So yeah, Mono was like, I had to figure out, I learned a lot about myself during Mono. I just getting through the little adversity that I was going through on the court, and being able to come out successful out of that. It was huge for my self-confidence, for me, period. Developing as a man. Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, the whole world happened, the COVID situation happened, that kind of took it. We'll skip through that, but after Mono though was you playing in Taiwan with the Beer Bears, right?
Yep.
Was that the T1? That was
yes, that was the T1 league.
How was that? I mean, I think that was like the first year taking in ASEAN.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the T1 like? What was playing in Taiwan like?
The T1, I would say the T1 woke me up because, you know, like I said, I was with mono before that, and then it was COVID. When I was on mono, I was just, after I had gotten over that little the obstacle that I was facing at mono, I was comfortable. I was happy. I was, you know, I would have played with mono the rest of my career if that was possible. But when I got to Taiwan and playing in the T1, it was more. It opened my eyes to just staying hungry, and you know, just always pushing for more, like working for more, not necessarily asking for more, but always working. I had a teammate named Diamond Stone, who, you know, one of the most competitive people I've ever met, but he's a huge part of, you know, he put that fire back in me, just to, you know, be a killer. You know, that's at the end of the day for me, basketball is like, that's where it's fun. You see who the killers are. You see who believes in themselves, and, you know, when the game gets tight, you know, that's basketball to me. You know, so yeah, Taiwan playing in the T1 that year, it definitely lit a fire back in me, and I was just ready to I was ready to kill somebody every game.
All right, those are all like your major stops, but there's one stop that nearly happened after it was like after your first ABL season that you almost played in the PBA with Blackwater.
Oh yeah, almost forgot about that.
We're not gonna go into details about why that didn't happen, but man, at that point, how excited were you even at the possibility that would happen? What were you looking forward to? What was going through your mind at that point, man?
I mean, they had came and watched a couple of my games in the TBL, and I had met with them, and I mean, at that point, I was happy. I felt like, you know, everything was just working itself out. I felt like I was happy. I took another chance with basketball, and I, you know, I went out there. I met some amazing people out there. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it didn't happen. But man, even the 2 weeks I was out there, being around the team and the organization and just practicing with them, it was a great experience. It was a great experience. Stanley Pringle was there. Terrence Romeo was there. You know, Stanley actually took me and showed me around, and, you know, made sure I was good for those 2 weeks. So shout out to Stanley Pringle for sure.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bit of the heavier stuff. I mean, obviously a great career, but I mean, obviously not the end of it. We're still looking to add on. We'll catch up with you during your Japan career.
So, we got to put you in the Kumamoto jersey next time.
Yeah, but let's cool down a bit with some more lighter stuff.
Okay.
What's one foreign phrase that has saved you during your career playing in all the different countries? What's one foreign phrase that that saved you out of a tight situation?
A foreign phrase, like during a game or something, or
at any point? What's a phrase that stuck with you that's really helped me, man?
You know what? I'll say this, because I'm big on accountability.
Okay.
So anytime you can lift your hand up and say that's on me, and you put it on yourself, even if it's not necessarily on you, that you know, it's always easier to move past that rather than pointing the finger at somebody else. So saying that's on me, and I've messed up a lot in my career. So.
In Thai, how would you say it? I mean, I know, but how would you say it in Thai?
Well, in Thai, I would say like, you want the real phrase, or you want like
how do you say it when in a game? Like, if you want to say it in Thai, how would you say it?
I'll say like maybe like ~P-ing, you feel me? Just, you know, let them know like it's on me. It starts with me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's real. How about a favorite foreign phrase? Doesn't have to be that deep. Just something that and it doesn't even have to be Thai. Any kind of foreign phrase that you like to say in general. If it's a curse word, we'll just bleep it out. Yeah, no, just some kind of foreign phrase you like to say. Actually, my favorite phrase I always say to all my teammates, I always say, dunk that
Even though some of them can't duck. That's stuck with me. Like, you know, I feel like a dunk is something that always gets the team going, raises our spirits. You know, any team I'm on.
Yeah.
So I've always been big on that. Like any big man, any man, dunk that.
All right. What's been one wild experience playing in Asia that you can share?
A wild experience? A wild experience. I'd say a wild experience. Ooh, playing against Indonesia in Indonesia. My first season with Mono, we played them in the semifinals.
CLS?
Yep, CLS.
Yeah.
That was wild. You know, the fans were raunchy.
Yeah.
The floor felt like we were playing on soap. Yeah, that was probably one of the more wild experiences. Definitely.
All right. Give me 3 of your favorite Asian dishes. Doesn't have to be ranked. Just give me 3 right now.
Okay.
Top of your head.
Asian, not Thai.
Asian, not Thai.
I'm going. You know what I gotta do. I gotta go 𝘨𝘬𝘳𝘦.
Okay.
I gotta go 𝘴𝘶𝘳𝘦𝘦.
Okay.
And then we'll say, 𝘴𝘰𝘤𝘪𝘢.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm biased. I'm going all Thai.
Yeah, but the 3, ส้มตำ ก๋วยเตี๋ยวต้มยำ ไข่ลูกเขย Start bench cut.
Start bench cut. Oh, we're gonna start ก๋วยเตี๋ยวต้มยำ.
Okay.
Because I could eat that every day. We'll bench 𝘨𝘬𝘳𝘦 and then we'll have to cut out 𝘰𝘤𝘪𝘢.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You've been a guy that's gone through different hairstyles over the 10 years. I mean, I don't want to go through each of them, but I mean, like just how does that resonate with you? Just expressing yourself, or what is it like for you?
You know, my hair is just so. Yeah, it's straight when it's short, and then when I grow it out, it becomes super curly. You know, I think I just wanted to grow my hair out when me and Freddie actually kind of started growing our hair out when we were on, what was this? This was probably maybe when I was in Hong Kong. I think he started growing his hair out, and I started growing my hair out. Just changing it up. You know what I mean? I've always had the short cut. So yeah, just growing my hair out, it was just something different too. You know.
All right. So we're gonna build one perfect teammate for you. We'll give that player 5 skills, one skill each from a teammate you've had in the past, present, or I mean, like way back in the past or something like that. Just 5 skills. Just pick them out. Which skills would you get from which player? It can be several players, or let's go with skill number 1.
Skill number 1, I would take. Freddie's quickness.
Okay.
I'd take Trey's skill.
Okay.
I would take let's go. I would take Bobby's shooting.
Okay.
Yep. I would take Moses' IQ.
Okay.
And number 5, let's go with. I would take Ohm's jumping ability and his height.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest shots that let's start with taken in your career? I mean, it doesn't have to be big in the context of a game, but what shot do you feel like has the biggest impact in your career?
A big shot that I take. Okay, so probably the biggest shot I've ever took in my career. It was an AAU game. It was a championship game. My senior year, we were playing against Brandon Knight, Austin Rivers, James Bell, who's also in the B League.
Okay.
Team Florida. It was Team Florida. It was Florida versus California. And, you know, it was a tight game all the way through. And then with like maybe 3 seconds left, the ref called a tech on our bench because 𝘴𝘶𝘳𝘬𝘴𝘁, believe it or not, 𝘴𝘶𝘳 ran off the bench during like before we even called a timeout. He ran off the bench and he was just trying to celebrate. So the ref teched us up. Brandon Knight goes to the line and he makes one, so we go down 2. Then he misses the second one. And he missed it. The ball just bounced in perfect position, and I maybe took 3 dribbles from that side of the court, and I ended up shooting a fadeaway in the corner right here with no time on the clock and nothing but net. So that was probably the biggest shot I've taken in my career. You know,
I'll check if you have footage on that later.
You know what? I've checked, bro, and YouTube has, man. You gotta talk to somebody at YouTube because that's
we'll see.
Nike Memorial Day Classic tournament.
Okay. Okay, you played in Thailand for a while. Who are some rising stars? Let's give you 3 players that you think are up and coming.
Well, actually, this is kind of easy because I have a kid that I've been training. His name is 𝘴𝘶.
Okay.
He's actually going to start at Oak Hill this next school year.
Okay.
So he's going to be a freshman. The sky's the limit for that kid.
Okay.
I like this big kid named Shaq. I want to say he plays with.
He's playing with TG?
No. Younger. He's young. He's still in high school, I think. Or he just played with the U18. He went to Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could. I would actually. I wish I could.
Right?
Yeah. I wish I could work with him.
Okay.
You know what? Let's not go so young.
Yeah.
Let's go with the young guys. We could even go the young guys on my. I really like Boom's game.
Yeah.
Boom from CT. Man. I really like his game. And we have a close relationship, so we talk all the time.
Nice.
I like Magic.
Okay.
I like 𝘴𝘶 on my team. I love 𝘴𝘶's game and how far he's come. Junior, TGE. He's been working hard. Let's see. I want to go. Him and Med. Thon is not a young guy anymore.
He's not a young guy.
Yeah. That's
okay.
As far as the young guys.
Solid list. We have some good players now.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, a lot of these next gen guys, or even not even the next gen, but a lot of those guys look up to you as an idol, as someone who they want to emulate their games after. But yeah, as that position, as someone that these guys look up to, I mean, you know, it's easy to look cool when you win, but in moments of struggling, in moments where it's down a bit, how would your advice be to those guys to get through that and to not be too too hard on themselves?
My thing is never get too high, never get too low. You know what I mean? There's always moments throughout your life, and you can't let those moments define, you know, who you are. I think you stick to your foundation, and you stick to you know what you know and who you are, and those moments are just what that is. It's just moments, you know. So I think you can set yourself up to have good moments, and you could also set yourself up to have bad moments if you're not prepared. So yeah, my thing when I talk to the young guys and the basketball players around Thailand is just to believe in yourself. Put the work in, and then believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, no one person can stand in your way. You know what I mean? So, I truly believe that.
Yeah. I mean, you played basketball for your whole life. You played professionally for almost 10 years. What drives you, man? Just getting up, repeating, doing everything. What drives you to just keep on getting up and looking to improve, to be better?
Well, now it's my kids. now it's my kids. Setting them up with a life that, you know, that's more comfortable than what I had growing up. But honestly, if I'm being honest with you, the thing that keeps me going is just proving myself right. And at the very base level is just proving myself right, because my career has been full of ups and downs. I would say for me, growing up, basketball kind of, once I hit a certain age to where basketball became easy. And I took advantage of that. You know, I watched people who've put in the work, and I see where they are now. And so I feel like I have good perspective on, you know, what can lead you to your dreams and what can ultimately make you fall short of your dreams. So I think that's my main thing, is that you know, just having that perspective of what works and what doesn't work.
I'm just gonna wrap this up a little bit. I mean, first of all, it's been a pleasure having you to talk as the second guest. I mean, Moses, sorry. But one thing I asked him was that who would you like to see talk a little bit more about their journey? Who would you want to hear from, or it might be someone you already know that their journey is worth telling, or someone you want to know more about their journey? Who would you say that you want to do this? And then the only catch is that you have to help me invite them here. Use your connections a little bit. Who would you say that person would be?
Are we talking in Thailand, or are we talking anybody?
Anyone. Just give me a few names so we can.
Freddie has had a good journey. J.O. PJO.
Okay.
I would like to see him talk about everything he's been through, and where he's at now. Yeah, I'll go with those three. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have to help too much with that. No, but yeah, it would be good to that would be a good opening for them to talk to them. Like, Tyler wants to hear your story.
No, for sure.
Yeah, last things here. You want to give any shout outs, talk about anything in particular that you just want to put the spotlight on before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to Moses and his wife Samantha. For their just being resilient, you know, throughout everything. I want to give a shout out to all the kids in Thailand and all the fans that truly support basketball and want to see, you know, us players, you know, expand. And give a shout out to my family, who is taking the most sacrifices. I want to give a shout out to Japan for stepping in and, you know, their response to everything. I'm missing some people. It's a
long list.
Yeah, it's definitely a long list, but I mean, yeah, I'll just go with that for now, for sure.
No, man, it's been great. Looking forward to maybe catching up with you, hopefully in Japan.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I want to give a shout out to my agent too, Kevin and Lee. You know, they helped make this deal possible. You know, this was a kind of like a last minute thing. You know, so without them, you know, I probably wouldn't even be talking about Japan right now.
What should Volters fans be looking forward to see from you?
Oh man, for Volters fans, I think this year just high energy. You know, a lot of buckets. I'm giving my everything. I'm so excited for this new journey. I'm ready to. I'm just ready to start this new journey. I'm also ready to I'm ready to close this chapter, and I'm ready to just give everything to this new journey that I'm embarking on, because, you know, I feel like for a while I feel like I've been in the same story you know, like the same part of my life. So just for this new journey to be starting, and I'm very grateful, you know, and like I said, bro, this couldn't happen without you and without the other few people that I mentioned. So I'm grateful, and I'm excited to get to work for sure.
All right, Tyler, it's been fun talking about your journey. Looking forward to see more from you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. You know, it's always love, TK.
It's always love, man.
For sure. Hey, I started Thailand with the Tones and Definitions article, so it's only right that I leave it with That's a Travel podcast.
It's the same thing, just a different name.
That's right.
All right, thanks, man.
For sure, bro. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Cap.
Thanks to the camera.